Hey everybody, it's the Body Bag. Yes, I am back. It was a little slow. I didn't post anything last week, but now it's heating up. We are 3 weeks away from Ferguson and Khabib, number 1 against number 2. And they say the winner of this gets that little Irishman, McGregor. So this is going to be a great card. There's a lot of great fighters. We're having 2 belts going on that night. We have Rose, Joanna. They're having their second fight. That's going to be great. But let's just start with Ferguson and Khabib. Let's go through some stats here. Ferguson, he's 25-3. Khabib's 25-0. Now that 25 is not 25 wins in the UFC, but he's still 25-0. They'll both be weighing in at 155. Khabib made weight his last fight, I believe, with his nutritionist he's picked up and some other help. I believe he's not going to have a problem. Now remember, on a championship belt fight, you can't go over 155. Non-title fight, you can be a pound over. Khabib, I believe, is going to make weight. It's not going to be a problem. He went out and got the right tools, the right people, and I believe weight is not an issue. Ferguson, he has a 6-inch reach on Khabib, which means nothing because we know what Khabib wants to do. Kind of puts his head down, throws some wild shots, gets in close, and then he goes to take you down, to mug you and smash you and try to break you. Ferguson, he's going to try to keep that distance. He's going to be throwing that long jab. He's going to be throwing those kicks. And he's not afraid to go down. His jiu-jitsu is excellent. He submits people all the time. This is going to be a wild, wild, wild shootout. I cannot believe that this fight is going 5 full rounds. You know I like to call it? I'm saying Ferguson in 3. That's what I'm saying. A lot of people think Khabib's going to take Ferguson down and just pound him. But I'm going against the grain. I'm taking Ferguson. He's going to knock him out within 3 rounds, rest up, and then fight that little Irishman, McGregor. So we'll see. You know, McGregor hasn't fought in such a long time. He always has the left hand, but that's all he has. I got a feeling he's going to be in trouble with Ferguson because Ferguson's not going to be like everybody else. Yeah, I think I'll circle into McGregor's power hand, catch the overhand left, and go to sleep. I don't know why these fighters, they just don't stay away from the left hand, but we'll talk about that later on in the year if McGregor, gets off his ass and fights. Now the next fight, well, it's the rematch, and it is going to be one wild fight. I mean, this fight's not going 5 rounds either. It's a coin toss. I know Joanna, she is so embarrassed and her ego is so smashed. This fight's not going 5 rounds. That is a lock. You heard it here. Now, what round am I going to pick? I'm saying the second round, somebody's done in this fight. We'll see how it goes. I mean, they're both going to be weighing in at 115. They're not going to have a problem making, any weight. Their reach, it's the same, 65 inches. They pair up very well. It's now what the question is, can Rose keep that poise, keep that confidence, and just do what she needs to do and stay away from this crazed woman that's going to come at her like a heat-sinking missile. This will be a great fight. It, I think, I mean, I don't know. I want the fans to come in and tell me what they think about this fight. They're fighting fairly quick for coming right back to the belt. I don't. That's going to be better for Rose to keep her confidence up. But we'll see. This is going to, this fight will tell. If Rose beats Joanna and she does it quickly, I think Joanna's going to move up to 125 and call it a day. We'll see how this all shakes out as far as that goes. Well, let's give some updates. It looks like everybody wants to fight Luke. We have Gustafsson. He's pissed off because DC's fighting for the heavyweight belt, and he's the #1 contender. And, frankly, I don't blame him. I mean, DC should be fighting him, but, the heavyweight division's a mess. Dana needs to do something creative. So let's bring DC out and have him fight for that belt. It's all about money as far as that goes. Then we have Michael Bisping. Do they do the third fight? First fight, Michael lost. The second fight, Michael won. Michael, he's trolling. He has 1, maybe 2 fights left in him. And he's trolling for the best pay-per-view gig he can get. And I believe he should fight Luke because it's the third fight. And it will decide who really is the better fighter. Luke, that guy, he just can't win. He's been getting knocked out left and right. Now everybody's saying he has a weak chin. Before that, I mean, one day he was the champ, and now he's a cream puff. He needs to fight somebody really soon, and he needs to just beat the heck out of them and end it in 1 or 2 rounds, just like Cowboy. He was on a 3-fight skid, and he needed a big, quick win, which he got. Luke is in the same situation. So we'll see who is really going to end up fighting Luke. The next update I want to talk about is, we have round 2. We got Whitaker against Romero. This will be in June 9th, and it's going to be in Chicago. Well, how's this one going to turn out? As I said in couple podcasts ago, Whitaker, he lost the first 2 rounds, won the next 3 rounds. Romero, if he can not gas out, I think he's going to win the fight. I think that he's just on a roll, and Whitaker, he escaped the first 2 rounds. Romero, he gassed. Got to give it to Whitaker. He pulled it together. He scored. He won 3, 4, and 5. I'm going to say Whitaker's been out for a while. Romero's on fire. Right now, I'm saying Romero's going to win this fight, and that's about as far as I'm going to go. This should be an exciting fight. I don't want it to go 5 rounds. I don't think it's going to go 5 rounds. Romero is now pacing himself better, and I just got a feeling it's his time, and I think he's going to beat Whitaker. I want to know what the fans think about that. And there's a lot more coming up. This is when a lot of the UFC fights. We got Nuez. She's fighting. it's just messing up this whole deal for the super card at the expo with Cyborg and her. So if Nuez, if she can end this fight in, 1, 2, maybe 3 rounds, no damage, get out of there, then they're both going to be probably in good shape. But I don't know. I mean, when Cyborg beat Holly, Nuez was talking a lot about fighting Cyborg, and now she's taking a fight, and we'll see what's going on as far as that goes. But this is when everything starts rolling, folks. We got a lot of great fights. We got fights in May. We got this one in April. We got this one in June. We roll into Expo for July. This is where it all really starts to happen now. A lot of great cards, a lot of big fights. And with that, this is the Body Bag. I'll see you next week. Thank you for listening. I'm out.